Good evening, people and peepettes. It's Thursday. Or is it Wednesday? It's Thursday. It's 8:30, our regular time slot. It's us on the agenda. Today we talk stadium refurbishment. We talk 20 million transfer budget. We talk free transfers. And there's something else we're going to talk about, but it will come up on the screen. Guys, this is the agenda. Let's get the show on the road. Good evening, guys. Shah, how you doing, big man?
I'm good, thanks. Everyone all right?
Always all right, man. Always all right. We haven't had a game for 4 days, so I don't have that upset. I don't have that upset feeling at the moment. Paddy, long time no see. How you doing, big man?
Very long time no see. Very good, Mr. B. How you doing? And Shah, how you doing? Pleased to meet you.
Paddy, good to meet you as well.
Oh, this is the first time that you guys have been on the show together. Yeah, all right, no problem. No, keep it polite, Shah. Ease him in. You know, don't give him no.
I'm not a bad guy, man. I'm not a bad guy.
No, that's all right. No problem.
I'm only a bad guy sometimes, Shah. Only a bad guy sometimes, but I get aerated, man. You know what I mean?
Let's get this part. Let's get this Thursday night party started. So, I'll give you my opinion after I've heard from Shah.
Yeah,
20 million rumored to be what we have to spend coming up now. Shah, you go. I'll save mine.
Go on, Paddy. You take it away.
Well, do you know what? From what I've gathered today, and obviously I've been looking at some of the podcasts today, and especially the lads at the Athletic and Andy Mitten, and a few of the United News ones. 150 million is from what I understand, he's been allowed to spend. That's been reported. I think Fabrizio Romano is quite good, has mentioned it as well. So that's the figure I've seen. But is it enough? Is it enough?
It's not enough. 20 million or
20 million. You won't get. You get nothing for 20 million. If that's the case, then I will cease to exist, mate. I'll be more depressed than I am since last Saturday's game. I really will explode. I exploded today over talking about Martial possibly being keeping on. I had to lose my rag about 12 o'clock today, and then I had to go in the house and lock the door. So, hopefully it's not 20 mil. I hope it's not 20 mil. Come on, that's not right to Mr. B.
Yeah, let's be honest.
No, come on.
I'm not sure where this figure came from. Shah,
no
information, any whispers as to what nonsense and why 20 million's been quoted, because it makes no sense to me.
No. I can't see why it makes sense. I haven't really found a source of where it's really come from, apart from some of the papers and the kind of usual ones. But this is more so to do with the failure to qualify with Champions League, is what's been kind of vented out in the articles. So is it going to be a repercussion of us basically not qualifying for Europe will leave us with a budget of 20 million, is what they're trying to say. So I personally can't see us bringing in a new manager and not giving him money, considering on the last 4 or 5 occasions now we've backed our managers and we've put money behind them to potentially get us back to where we should have been, and it hasn't happened. Is it not going to happen again? With the squad that we've got at the moment, something needs to change, and a lot of players, through this discussion today, I'm sure we're going to find out. There is obviously some sacrifices and a lot of investment that needs to go in, and we're a club that can do it. So I don't know where those rumours have come from.
I mean, as I said, it was a strange one. I mean, Paddy, you said that you heard it was 150. Now I would be more. If we don't, how United normally do is if you don't get Champions League, they spend money. So that 150 is more what I would expect to be spending. But how much positions do we need? We don't need one. And if it's the one that they're talking about in Mr. Rice, then that's 3/4 of the budget gone on one player.
We need four. We need four players basically.
You think we
at
need
least?
So
yeah, we need four. We need four, and we need. You know, it's not a big overhaul. It's a long overhaul, as we've discussed on previous shows. And again, listening today to some of the big commentators today on some podcasts today, and some sources that are good that are close to these podcasts. You know, Fabrizio Romero's talking about. We need at least four players in to come in at least, and we might be able to do it. I think they're going to have to back the manager, knowing what we've had to go through. I think they're going to have to back Ten Hag, and I suspect with the negotiations with Ten Hag is going to go in and say, "Look, I need to bring in a few players." I think he wouldn't take the job unless he didn't have the money to spend. I don't see that happening. I don't know what you guys think.
You know, coming back to what you're saying about number of players, actually, Paddy, we bumped into Paddy Curran one time in the tunnel, and we're walking up, and after poor performances, and me and Paddy were just having a conversation, just generally about what he needs. He goes, they need 6-7 players. That was the season before Ollie joined, and then we had Varane come in and Sancho, obviously, the summer afterwards. And I bet Paddy's probably still saying the same thing, like similar. We still need 6 or 7 players, because I think, like, you know, our spine's affected. Defense is affected.
Do we have a spine? Really?
Well, that's what I mean. It's affected, isn't it? At the moment, it's not consistent. It's not connecting, and that it kind of needs to start, really, doesn't it? There, and the defense.
Absolutely. Talk about the defence. I know we could talk for a whole program about Maguire. We haven't got all day to talk about Maguire. I know my views on it, and Mr. B and I are probably on the same page on that with Maguire, probably yourself, Shah. But you know, I saw a player last night, and I said it on Twitter today after watching him. He caused a riot last night for Atletico Madrid against Man City. But I love his fearlessness and his fight last night. Was no Savage for Atletico Madrid.
Is that the one who headbutted Sterling?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're saying to me that that's the type of player that you want at the club?
He didn't cause a foul. He didn't have a foul in the two in both halves of that game last night. You're right. Most of the Atletico Madrid team last night were lunatics and savage. But I'll tell you one thing. I want a good, fierce, strong centre half, bro, in that back, like a Vidic, or just go in there. I'm telling you. You know, I saw Savage last night. He was strong last night. That's what we want, not the mamby-pamby ineptitude, his incompetency at the back. I'm sorry. If we had him in there last night, he'd sort them out. He'd just get out the way. I'm sorting this out now. I'm the number 5. You're going to follow me. And he would stick. I thought he was fearless. I thought he was brilliant. I know what you're saying, Mr. B, about he shouldn't headbutt people, but do you know what? He probably didn't mean it, but it was Man City anyway. He probably didn't mean it, but do you know what? He got stuck in, and I thought he was very good. I thought that's the sort of player I've missed having. Nemanja, Vidic in that side for a long time. I love that sort of Serb. I think he's a Serbian or Croatian. I think I don't know. Serbian, where they're the best, aren't they? You know, they don't mess with them. So I'd love to see him at the spine of that team to talk about the defence, Shah.
Don't you think it's? I watched that game yesterday, and it was emotion, it was passion, it was from the get-go. Go for it. I think. Being a fan for United, you know, we and you mentioned in Vidic those days, every player wore their heart on their sleeve and wanted to give it 110%. When we look at these players, they don't do that, and even like with OMONDI's comments regarding Maguire and backing him, yeah, fine, he gives it, but if you're giving 110% and you're still not good enough, then there's a problem. And to be honest with you, I was looking at Real Madrid, right, when they beat Chelsea week before on Tuesday night, and I was like, do you know what? That's what being a team's about. That's what they showed another side to, you know, like one half of Madrid, you had the red, raw passion, anger. Then the other side, you had the maturity, still the want to go forward, the want to go and progress, want to go and win a game, even 90 minutes in. And when we look at our players and the current, forms, the current attitudes, it's just a consistent problem. But my problem is it starts from the back. When players are playing with each other, they don't trust them. there's doubts in each other's abilities up and down and across that pitch. So I think defense is where it really comes from. Even De Gea's probably, I don't know, mate. I'm surprised he's still got hair. I would have lost my rag.
He's fed up. He's fed up. He came out with it Saturday saying that he was basically pissed off with the rest of the team. They're not keeping to the standards that he's used to from the past, and also as well, I saw. Look, I suspect there could be a defeat. I doubt it. But again, I said it forever since that. I could see a real, maybe I maybe could see a defeat against Norwich, because Norwich beat Burnley. They've got fight in them. Norwich have. We're a bunch of we'll line up and Maguire do his warm ups and look at the team, go, and they're all going, what's he on about? What's he talking about? What's he not inspiring me? And then you'll have the benevolent grandfather with his jumper on, like me, Ragnick going, yes, their team did well and it's going to do very well. I am pleased with them. And it's just going to be like, right, okay. There's no inspiration in that team talk. So I worry now moving forward. I mean, Monday talks about we're going to get top 4. I don't think we'll get top 4. Not the way we're playing. We've got Arsenal coming out and Liverpool. That's going to be a possible annihilation, especially where we are at the moment in that team with no fight, no passion, Shah, as you just discussed. So really, it concerns me greatly. I want to see fight. I want to see passion. I saw a photograph with Tommy Kavanagh and Tommy Doherty from 1977. I tweeted this week, the picture of just fight and passion. Where's that gone? It's disappeared. It just evaporated, hasn't it?
And with a budget of 20 million, what are we going to get?
Well, how much? Sorry, 20 million.
I mean, look,
we're going to get. Do you know what we're going to get for 20 million, Mr. B? We're going to get Benson and Hedges. Right on the back of the fag packet, Benson and Hedges, both ages, God. 65 and 75. Well, that's what we're going to get for 20 million, bro.
We get Ronaldo's dad and Cavani's dad.
Exactly. I mean, Dad's Army FC. You know what I mean?
It could be down to the fact. Before I forget, you guys hit that like button if you haven't already. If you're new to the channel,
please
hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, give us a share. So sorry, I cut you off, but my point was maybe it's got to do with the fact that they've been talking about a stadium refurbishment now, and wanting us to become a more, what was the word? They wanted it to be a, what's the word they use?
More fan based.
Yeah, more fan based.
So it's going to be a fan based stadium. So in terms of it's going to be more entertainment, more accessible for fans, and it's all about the fans, which it is already.
Yeah. And hopefully they won't have boiling hot coffee at halftime there. And that's because it is.
Is my sound up the shit? You guys in the chat, I don't know if Vaughan's winding me up or not. Can you not hear me properly? All I need to hear is yes or no. I don't need a 1 or 2 solo puts down, confusing everybody. Either you can hear me properly, you can't. Yes or no. That's all I need to hear. Sorry, continue talking, gents.
Yeah, I'm just saying about having. I hope they do that, but I don't want boiling hot coffee at halftime when they'll just scold you like there's no tomorrow. And I've been inside the stadium there. It is poor, the facility. So I'm hoping that's part of it as well. As you just said, the fan base for the fans, that'd be very good, Shah. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think today they announced on Man United's website that the instructions there, isn't it? They've appointed the stadium contractors who have designed stadiums all over the world. So whatever it's going to be quite exciting. It's going to be new. We've got a new manager and have a new stadium in a few years, have a new squad, back to winning things. Well, these last 10 years will be a distant memory.
Yeah, let's hope. And there's a firm of consultants that have been asked to come in and have a look at the stadium refurbishment. I know Gary Neville today talked about, there's a big post, basically. He wants to knock it down and go right from scratch. And I said, it's like knocking down, I don't know if you'll know this, Charles, that's Mike at JFK Kennedy, and Mr. B will know this, knocking down Delia Plaza with the 6th floor of Depository Building. It's like knocking that down. It's a national heritage site. You can't knock this down. You can probably, it does need refurbishing because of the roof and other things like that. And do you know what I'd love them to do? The way Bayern Munich have got their they got it looks like a tire. I think it looks like a tire around. They're going, it lights up at night. Yeah, so it'd be great to see what they do with the stadium and bring in some really different things there. You know, I'd love to see. Yeah, of course, it needs it. It does need it, but just please keep the Old Trafford, at least some of it, that history and that part of it as a feeling, and that it's you come into Old Trafford as the theatre of dreams. Just got to keep maintaining that.
Don't do a Wembley and knock down the arches kind of thing, you know.
Yeah, it does need refurbishing. I was a bit. When it first came out, I was a bit passionate. I was a bit upset the fact that they might knock it down and whatever. But it does need a bit of a refurb. It does need. I'm hoping these consultants come in and do a really good job, but just don't knock it down and start from scratch. I'll be quite upset with that. That's my view.
It's the same guys who did the Tottenham Stadium, and let's be honest, the Tottenham Stadium's it's banging. So
it's good.
You know, I'm more worried that it's more talk just to keep look. There's going to be a protest on Saturday.
Yeah.
They're trying to do whatever they can now to
appease the fans.
Yes.
Yeah.
So them talking about a refurb, that's what the fans wanted. I mean, I'm expecting something else to come out again tomorrow. Hoping that it'll do. I just think that there's a lot of spin going on at the club at certain times. I mean, my point was, and I said it already, when we lost, I expected something to be announced, and it was. And then we lose again against Norwich. Guaranteed, if we lose to Norwich, we're
signing Mbappe. Yeah, you heard it here first, Mr. B.
Yeah, guaranteed we'll be getting
no SHAH. No,
guaranteed that would be the news coming up. That's what they will be leaking.
You heard it here first, live on the channel.
Whoever they leak to, you know what I mean?
I'm not sold on that, Mr. B.
I'm gonna try and sort out my audio. No, look, it was more tongue in cheek, to be honest, Paddy.
Okay.
So don't worry, that's not somebody that we're gonna be I think we're ever gonna be really
no way. Dream on. He's going to Real Madrid, Mbappe, from what I heard this morning, and also I've heard that the one thing that did press me today, I know we're still on the stadium refurbishment, Mr. B, is the fact, and SHAH, that Haaland's going to Manchester City. Now, he comes back next year and haunts us. We will have a new team and a new squad and a new manager.
How do you know that? How do you know he's going to be going to Man City?
I'm telling you, Haaland, Man City. There's already been talks made and been approaches made. He's not going to. I'm telling you, Mr. B, that from what I heard this morning is that will be happening possibly, and that will be him coming to Old Trafford against. And if Ten Hag keeps Maguire and Varane at the back, I worry then. That game
anyway, to be honest.
Yeah. But obviously his dad will have a say in it anyway. So, but I know he's not going to Real Madrid, and I know for a fact he won't be going to Barcelona because they haven't got any money. So his destination is possibly apparently this morning what I hear is Manchester City.
Let's hope not. Well, let's hope we can.
Probably SHAH. They've got the money. They've got the money, haven't they? And they've got the, if they're going to win the Champions League, it's another pull for someone like Haaland coming in from Dortmund. Apparently talks are ongoing. I might be, I'm just watch this space.
Isn't there's a financial fair play thing against them going on as well at the moment? So
Manchester City.
I think there is City, from something to do with some of them signing their youngsters and things like that. So some history kind of things that's been going on for a few years now. So I don't know whether that, this is something that's privy information to everybody really, but you don't never know how those things end up, if that makes sense. But City are obviously in a good position. You don't know where they are, how things are going to finish for them are still very interesting. They're still in a chance of winning the league. They could also throw it away, and they could also throw away the Champions League, which will have a big impact. But in the day, they'll be back next season, that's for sure. That's one thing that we've all got to remember.
Very strongly,
But I think coming back to the kind of, you know, conversation around the stadium, is it positives? Is it things that need to happen? This is just a natural progression that's going to come from our club at the moment. And the rebuild is going to start really from the ground up now if Ten Hag comes in and makes those right noises.
Yeah, I think so, Sean, but I'm not sold on the Glazers now and an appeasement of the fan base. We're going to get the stadium done. The proof's in the pudding, really. But it's you know, they have to do something with the ground. They have to do something. It is falling apart. I totally get that, but they have to follow through along with Richard Arnold as well. But there has to be better communication because there is no communication at all in that club towards the fans either. There's nothing coming out from Murtagh or Fletcher or Richard Arnold. It's all muted, and that's what annoys me a little bit. I'm talking about that, you know, that we need to get the communication with the connection between Richard Arnold, the Glazers, and the fans. It's got to be better. It's just muted. It's like telepathy, but no one knows what's going on.
That's what's going to come out this week. Guaranteed, it's going to be something to do with that. That's going to come out this week.
Yeah, but the demonstration on Saturday, and I suspect there might be one against Chelsea as well. It won't be like the first time it happened last year. I think it was last season. I think the police will be in there in such droves. Bless them, that the fans will have their say and they'll have the banners out and whatever. But I don't think it makes a lot of difference. But you have to protest and say something. But they won't get near the ground. That will be cordoned off completely. The police will get it right. They've got to smell it. It's already out there now, isn't it, on social media? So I suspect that there might be a damp squib on the 17 minutes that we were talking about, aren't we? But you know, I hope I just don't think the Glazers and Richard Arnold are going to take any notice. That's the problem with me.
Yeah, well, look, that's what they do. I mean, we've been here long enough. We've seen it enough.
Yeah.
I mean, look, we don't have too much longer left till the season's finished, in all fairness. But we've still got enough games to, you know, maybe change our fortunes for the beginning of next season. You know, so look, we know he's going to need time. We know Ten Hag's going to need time. The biggest issue that we have at the moment is fan impatience. I mean, we spoke about it the other day. And we were saying, you know, 3 years. But if you're finishing 10th and 11th, 3 years is going to seem like a long way away. You know, there has to be a minimum position that you want him to finish. But you look at how much players are leaving, guaranteed to leave, not the players who want to leave, who are upset with the last regime or whatever. Players who are guaranteed to leave. There's 5 of them. SHAH, the 5. What 5 are they?
I think we were, you know, big talks about Pogba obviously going PSG. That looks like as if that's set. Maybe a new contract. We just, you know, very borderline. I don't think personally, this is my opinion, I don't think it will happen. I'm just really more talking about the rumours. Lingard, obviously he wanted to go in January. We all saw that.
Yeah,
couldn't let him go. Martial out. Obviously, the situation with our youngster Greenwood.
Question: I know this is probably going to sorry to cut you, Shah. I know this is going to Paddy might blow his top here, but do you you know what's coming, Paddy? Martial, do you think he could work under another manager?
No, I don't. And I know Ten Hag, from reports I've heard this week, he likes Martial and he wants to have him back to work with him. I got a bit annoyed at that remark because since we signed him from Monaco under Van Gaal, I think it was the last minute of that season, you know, he scored against Liverpool. We all remember that goal against Liverpool. But since then, he's sulked his way all the way through, really. He hasn't performed. There's been some performances, scored goals, whatever. But he hasn't really established himself properly. And when he hasn't got the goal, he's sulked away. It's just, probably that's just his way. But I don't think he will. I think we need to move on to better players and better players now. We need to move on. We can't keep holding the dead wood and bring them on. You know.
So if we're going to lose 5. You know what the club's like. What's the most players the club has bought in one transfer window that you can remember? Silence.
4.
See,
4 maybe. 4 maybe. That was it. 4.
4. Okay, so if we're losing 5 guaranteed, we probably need to bring in 5.
You're right, and also the timing now is difficult, Mr. B, because the manager's not going to come to the end of the season. These players are usually sought well before, maybe now, and targeted and dealt with just after the season. It could be a real problem with the timing of these, finding these. If we're going to get 4 in, that's going to be the problem. The timing again, getting those 4 in and targeting them, getting them in. I think that could be a real issue, Mr. B.
I mean, I would like to think that Ten Hag isn't just going to start work on the 1st of July. I would like to think that he's spoken to the board and things are going on simultaneously. Maybe is the word I'm maybe thinking, because all right, he will be concentrating on Ajax, but he also needs to get players that he needs or wants or has an idea of, or give the club an idea of players who he wants to be getting in. So I'm going to assume that something has to be being done somewhere along the line. Whether he speaks to, we don't have a director of football. Let's hope it's Rannick and not Fletcher that he's speaking to.
Yeah.
You know, sorry, Shah, I cut you off. Who was the other players we were talking about? I just wanted to wind up Paddy. Sorry, bro.
No, that's all right. So coming back to it, we've got Cavani, who's obviously going to be gone, Mata, and our faithful League One, a few years at the club, and he's going to be retiring from football.
So that's 5. Okay, so
and what about Jones? What about Jones then?
Well, Jones' contract isn't up, and I just have a feeling that United are not going to get rid of players that they're not forced to get rid of, if you know what I mean. You know, I think that at the end of the day, he needs a squad to work with. There's no point in him having a squad of 17 players.
No, he's not gonna. Yeah.
You know, so if I'm assuming if it means that Jones has to stay for another year, or Matic has to stay for another year with a contract, just to have squad bulk, because even if he has a first team where he works out what his first team is early, he can't play. Those players can't play every game for the whole season.
Especially amount of competitions, if you want to be competing and everything, and realistically, like you say, there's so much games, so many games that Ragnick is feeling the effects of just letting loan players go out after the January transfer window.
I mean, this is a good comment from Emma here. We're probably going to see a lot more of our youth. Also, it's easier to mold them. I mean, that would be a blessing. I'll be honest, because we know we've got a couple of future superstars at the club, if they're coached and if they keep their feet on the ground. So I mean, that itself would be, to me, I would take a year of seeing the younger players coming in and really, really progressing. But then the club you still need
maturity,
players to guide the younger players. And let's be honest, there's a few players at our club who couldn't guide a blind person. So there's an issues, you know.
There's no leaders in that team. There's no one to guide anyway. And when these youngsters do come in, like the lad from Forest, you know, when I remember when Elanga started, he had that innocence. He had that, like, no fear. You know, when the young players come into a team, there's no fear. You want that in these youngsters. So that'd be brilliant to come in. I just don't. There's no. I mean, Ronaldo maybe become the elder statesman, could probably look after some of them, but don't. There's nobody else in that team that will lead it, as you've just said, Mr. B. So I would be looking for that, really, and hopefully Ten Hag would see that and maybe incorporate some of those young players into that squad. But the squad is poor, isn't it? And the quality within the squad is poor. And that's
so. I mean, look. I'm going to ask you something. Question for both of you. Shah, I'll put it to you. Do you think those players are really shit as they've been this season, or do you think there's other? I mean, are they really that bad?
Look, we wouldn't have bought these players if they were that bad, right? Genuinely, I believe that these players have shown the potential. Everyone criticises Martial, right? But Martial, Rashford and Greenwood had that great season 2019-2020, scored 62 goals between the three of them. That season was more than Salah, Mane and Firmino, who were the front three of Liverpool, right? By 5 goals. We all remember it. It was great. Does that mean that player is still not there inside of them? No. Same with Rashford. We've all seen Rashford's dip in form. What it shows is that the guidance that they're getting given is not in line with their playing style and the philosophy, what some of these players have been taught for 20 years. You know, Rashford's an academy player. He's been ground into playing the Man United way. We've had Mourinho come in, disturb Martial, for example, with Lukaku, took the shirt off of him. There's just little things like that. And that affects you as a player. Like 1 minute you're the star man, next minute you're not. Similar things probably happened with Rashford. He was coming off of a great, well, not a great year last year after finishing the season and the World Cup, etc. But he was coming back from that mentally. You could see that he was going to come back, give it a bit of effort. He'd done the operation, struggled. And I think this season we've had so many problems up and down the pitch, off the pitch, on the pitch, and it affects you. Every time you look at anything to do with Man United, every single person is clicking it. The players have had ridiculous amounts of abuse. The houses burgled. It's been absolutely, to one point, disgusting from another side. But the other side of it, we talk about leaders. You got Bruno Fernandes, Cristiano Ronaldo, Edison Cavani, Juan Mata, David De Gea. These are all senior players. Paul Pogba, as well, is a leader. He's shown it. We've seen videos. Not in that sense. What I'm trying to say is it's in them, right? It's in these players. All to show.
So if it's in these players, why don't they want to?
I don't know why they want to show. I don't know why they're not reacting. Do you know what I mean? This is what I'm trying to say. There's obviously something missing, and it's happened time and time again.
It's frustrating.
That's my opinion.
Frustrating. Really
frustrating. I'll tell you what, Shah, that's interesting actually. You know, football's all about opinions, isn't it? To be fair, but Marty, Pogba, you know, I know what you're saying. They haven't been inspired. I mean, you look at Klopp and Guardiola; those players are inspired by the manager. They are inspired by the manager and his philosophy. Totally. I've watched it. I've seen it. I went to Manchester City, Man United. I watched Solskjaer on the sideline next to Guardiola. Guardiola was like an orchestra. And just directed them all, and he was there. When Solskjaer just stood there, you know, like a spare part at the wedding, just to, you know. And I saw the players disintegrate with Manchester City. That was the difference. But it worries me. You're right. Senior players like De Gea, yes, fine, but Pogba hasn't arrived. We're now saying that these players are going to arrive when Ten Hag takes over. They're going to have a second opportunity and a second chance, second bite at the cherry. I think some of them have had a third, fourth bite at the cherries. I mean, Martial, I'm sorry, go on, see it on your way, mate. You know, Pogba, your time's up as well, mate. You can go as well, and you can't get rid of all these players. You're right. It's got to be structured over time. But giving these players, you know, more top, there's no leaders in these teams. And I know we all disagree, but I have just not seen a leader. I've not, you know. I'll give one thing. I've not looked at this team, and I look at some of the players in Man City go, oh, I think he's fantastic. I love it. I'm so in awe. I'm in awe of some Cancelo and one of the other players like the Portuguese, a little small. I watched him at the United City game, but what his name is now. But I look at the United and I go, yeah, it's like, oh, love him. He ticks around. But when I look at my own team, I go, there's not anybody I like. I don't love any of the players I like. And that's where I'm at the moment. And that's quite sad. That's been going on for weeks and months as well.
Oh, it's something that we've all had to encounter. You go to that United City game, 5 goals down, nothing going on, players stop running. I mean, it's literally like the batteries at your PS4 controllers died, and you're about to literally lose the game, and it's the week. You know what I mean? It's just ridiculous. I've been there. I was at the Liverpool game, saw it happen in Ravel in front of my eyes. Like, players just didn't want to play. And like, you're right. The players that don't want to be there, they're gonna have to be gone. And this is a time when we're gonna have to, unfortunately, take the pain. Well, us as fans are gonna have to take this painful period as a club, whatever happens. But we'll be there, spending £100 million to go to one game.
It's painful. I was there during the 80s. I've been here before, and then getting to that team in 91, 92 when it all flicked with Sir Alex doing. Yeah, I do remember. But up to that time, after the 70s and 80s, it was really, really difficult. So I've been here. I know what it's like. But this is my worry. If this doesn't work out with this manager, we're going to go into another period of real problems. And Liverpool are going to strengthen, and and Manchester City, depending how long Guardiola is going to be there for. So it really is a really important season, this, and he gets that support. You wouldn't believe how important this manager coming in this time. It's going to be so important. And I'm going to be, and the important thing as well, Shah, you've been there. Yeah, when we go to those games now, the first few 10 games maybe, we're going to have to see a little bit of a difference in being there in the stadium, on the pitch, watching what's going on. Is there a change? Are they running back? Are they chasing? Are they being passionate? There's got to be a change, because we don't see any changes in that first 10 games at the start of the season. Pre-season, you'll see a fantastic effort from all the players against Melbourne FC, or I don't know, Bonsai Beach 11. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. You'll probably see them all running around then. But then you get back to the new season starts. First 10 games, I'm going to see could be a different team. So I'm looking forward to that. I hope it does happen.
Yeah, and it's an important talking about the summer tour and things like that. It's an important summer for us in many reasons, because this is the last transfer period before the World Cup. After the World Cup comes, some of those players could be almost double money.
Shah, who's double money, Shah? Who are we talking about? Not Luke Shaw won't be double money, or Maguire won't be double money, mate. That'll be a cut price down at Tesco, mate. I'll tell you that now, hopefully.
Not when we bring it home.
Shah.
I love Shah's forever the optimist. Forever.
Fair play to you. Fair play to you. I salute you. Shah.
If we don't wake up and believe, then what do we have to believe in?
Ooh.
So on that note, we've got some players, haven't we, that have been kind of free transfers.
Yeah, look. We on the show we're talking about. We've spoken about Man United cutting money. Now, we obviously know that those players leaving on the free transfer, leaving, we should have taken 750 grand a week. Now, if that's what we've got, I'm just thinking maybe they're going to be looking down the free transfer route. I don't know what you guys think. It could be a possibility. I mean, I used to think, getting players on a free, why you're doing that, but it makes perfect sense. To me, it makes perfect sense. I know, Shah, me and you had a couple of words earlier on, and we came up with a couple of names. So is there anything that you could add? Is there any names that you're thinking about there that we could maybe throw out there to the guys in the chat to see if it's a yes or a no?
Yeah. Let's get some yeses and nos in the chat, actually, because I think there's a few that are interesting.
There's a couple that are impossible, but they're on the free, and we thought we've showed them out there. Guess, guys, if there's anybody that you lot think that maybe could help the situation that we haven't spoke about, if you're on and you're not watching the show live, leave them in the comments. At least then we could maybe do some homework and have a look. When we're talking now, you guys as well, put them in. We could have a look and see. Maybe there's a gem. Maybe you lot could send a little WhatsApp to Ten Hag, let him know that you've scouted a player. So, Shah, let's see what you've got.
So we've been linked with him in the past. Barcelona's winger attacker, Dembele, Osama Dembele.
Okay.
I'm gonna just run through him quickly. Yeah,
go. Yeah.
Real quick. Next one's Juventus striker Paulo Dybala. No one.
How old is the? What's the? I mean,
is he 27?
27 or 28. Isn't he? All right, go on.
So Dybala, we've got Rudiger. Big link for him. Dybala's 28. And Christian Eriksen as well, 30. I think, for me personally, watching that World Cup game and then seeing him come back has been fantastic. And him actually, Brentford are yet to lose a game with him in starting 90 minutes.
Really?
Interesting. Yeah.
Who's that?
Brentford.
Who's that?
Brentford. Eriksen, Christian Eriksen.
Yeah. Okay.
I thought I'll be honest. I thought that was a deal. So what's he done? He's gone to whore himself out. Yeah.
Basically, yeah, it was there on a year. They probably will give him something more permanent. But you never know. These players, they come and go, don't they? When the money's right, if they get offered a bit more, they might come. But these are the 4 players that I've really picked out. And then the one wild card is that man, Kylian Mbappe.
Okay, well, first things first, Elias, welcome to the agenda. Haven't seen your name before. So, right, Shah, you ended on a Monday. First things first. So why is Eriksen done? And please don't mention his heart. On his ability, I think he's taken Brentford and he's given Brentford an extra 20-25%. I'm not saying what he needs. I just want to know why you're saying that he's actually done.
Can I just say something to be on Eriksen? I think, great player. I'm very sad for what happened to him in the Euros, heart attack. And coming up from hands up, fantastic, brilliant, wonderful player, great player for Spurs. Didn't work out for his transfer. But for us, we need to move. We need to move on. We need to, you talk about, you're talking about free transfers. I know a wild card now, Shah bring in. Lewandowski's off, isn't he? When he leaves Bayern Munich, apparently. Again, I know is he at the end of his career? He's still quality. I think he's Barcelona bound, apparently, from the rumours today. I doubt he'd be offered on a free transfer. He could be, but Lewandowski, I love that player. I've loved him, but maybe he's at the end of his career. But that's one that I'm aware of.
He's 33 years old.
That's the problem.
But why? Yeah,
I wouldn't say he's at the end of his career.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say he's at the end of his career.
I know. He might give you. You're right. I just thought it was a one. I'm one for. I want these quality. I don't want us bringing in Dad's Army FC every 5 minutes, even though we're on a free. Do you know what I mean? I don't want that. No. But he could give us a bit. He could give us a bit. You're right. Cavani did a bit for us, didn't he? A little bit for us, and then went injured. So possible, yeah. He could. Impact players are good, aren't they? We need that. We haven't had that since Mario Fellaini.
Well, you look Lewandowski.
Don't talk about fucking.
No, I don't want to talk about him now either.
Fellaini scored one of the best goals I've ever seen in my life with his knee. I don't understand how he did it. Half falling, that mate. Goal that should have been like one of Pushka's goal. I'm telling you, mate.
Yeah, no, it was always like, But you're right. I did free transfers. Why are we looking at free transfers? Because we do need to bring some quality in. And then again, I go back we know the structure that's going to be brought in by Ten Hag. And I look to my noisy neighbours and Liverpool, how they brought those players in. I'm just hoping we don't go down the bargain basement route now.
Yeah, but what is bargain? Right. Okay. So what do you classify as? See, for me, you talk about bargain basement players. What do you mean by bargain basement players? Players that cost what, 25 million, 30 million?
No. Well, no. I mean, I'm just one thing just came to mind now. And then Fergie sought out and he got the Mexican player for 9.5 million. What's his name? Hernandez. Bargain. Players like that. He's bargain based. Players from out the blue completely. I'd love to see him bring in, but as long as Ten Hag must have some, I don't think they're big overpriced players he's looking at. But if he brings them some real quality that's not going to cost too much money, then great. And he's seen them. He's seen the quality within them because he has got a good view, hasn't he? Ten Hag. He's been with the big boys as well. You know what I mean? Like Guardiola. I'll be quite interested to see if he's got a vision of those players and that very expensive and brings them in and goes, that'd be great. Since what Guardiola's done. I'd love to see that.
Is Kamara? Is that the guy from? Is that the guy from Marseille?
Yeah, that's him as well. He's available. for around 20-25 million is what.
So that would have to be a purchase, or is he available on a free?
No, that's not a free. That's a purchase. That is. So that's
I
like
mean, I think the thing is that there is players available, and I know people are laughing. Somebody's put up here? Free now. We're now freebies FC. Look, I'll be honest. If freebies work, I will take a free transfer. You know, you look at Rudiger. Some people don't like him. I think he would do a great job for us. And the fact that Chelsea can't do anything at the moment, I think I would bite off their hand to get somebody like Rudiger. He's a proper defender. You know, so there are players out there. I'm not saying we go out there you get 7 or 8, but if you can get, one to supplement what you've got, then I'm all for that. I mean, as I said, that list was a bit. I don't know if that list was a bit wishful, Shah. I mean,
it's just more so about players out of contract that are probably the ones that you would even maybe consider.
But this is my point. We talk about why should we be considering these players? What, because we've heard of them? Right now, I want Man United to get players that nobody ain't heard of. I'll be honest. And then after a year or 2 years, you're thinking, fucking hell, wow, look at him. He can do this, or he can do that, or turn them into stars. Let them become stars at our club so that they don't want to piss off and leave and go anywhere else. We get these players who reach a certain level, then they want to go to Barcelona, or they wanted to go to Real Madrid. The Latin player, I understand that. I understand the pull. I support Manchester United, so I wouldn't be leaving if I ever had the opportunity.
Exactly.
But at the same time, I want stars. I want that progression. I want to see a player improve after a year, and you think, Jesus Christ, I would love nothing more than Talkmuk to come in and mold those players who we think we're shit at the club. You know what I mean? The Harry Maguires, who we know hasn't got any pace, but he then turns him, or he gets him in a position where he can do. He's doing bits. Fred is now being able to pass or being able to tackle. Pogba. No, forget Pogba. Martial. This is a wind up to you. Is able to run forward and run back. Stuff that you lot have seen. Some stuff that you lot would see in the stands up that we wouldn't necessarily see on Match of the Day. I want stars at our club. I want us to make stars. Don't buy stars.
I like that. That's really good, Mr. B. And I'm with you on that, definitely. But will he transform those existing players? I'm a doubting Thomas on that.
So am I. I just put it out there because.
I know you did, bro. I know. And I just don't see that. But I'd love him to bring in some players you've never heard of. Yeah, I know his neighbours have done. They brought some of those players. I've not heard of them before, and he developed them. And I hope Ten Hag has that philosophy, and he brings his players in that we've not heard of, as you've just said, and he sees a vision in them and brings them through. And then we all get proud again. And I get proud of seeing that Ten Hag's brought this player. Have you seen how good he's playing? I get so proud of that player. I go, I want to see him every week. Not go, oh God, he's dreadful. Oh no, he's getting worse. I want to see that. That's what I want to see. I want to see him chasing and running and getting up to a fact when they do the stats at the end of the game that they're actually up with the other team as passion and chasing back. Then we need to do that, don't we? But you're right. What I don't want, and Charles, go with me on this, Mr. B. I don't want buying Schweinsteigers or these players that have done it before. They just didn't work out, did they? And all that, we all get excited about Schweinsteiger, didn't we? Oh, he's fantastic for Bayern Munich, for Germany. That's a short-term fix, as you've just said, and we want to bring some quality just slowly in that we haven't heard before, and go, oh my God, he's such a great player. Didn't see that coming.
Guys, there's a couple of newbies. I know I can see a couple of new names. If you haven't hit that like button, please hit it. On the agenda, we're on our way to 1,500. It doesn't sound like much to you, but it means an awful lot to us. Without you guys, exactly you guys, in the chat and in the comments, we would be nothing. So all of the love, all of the comments, all the time you're sharing on Twitter, on your Instagram, we appreciate it. Yeah. Sorry, Shah, for cutting you off.
No, I think, Paddy, you've covered a piece there that's important. We need to have players fighting. I think if anyone watches METV at home and you watch the old matches and you see them, right? You see them fighting. Doesn't matter who you are. Even little Raphael, Fabio, they came in later on. They were fighters. Little Anderson was a fighter. All these players that have been mediocre were fighters. And I think Ten Hag coming in, if he can instill that, then it's going to be absolutely fantastic. And
Right.
I look forward to it.
I need to address something. Bath time, yes, we do normally read out comments, but my eyes are giving me a lot of issues today, and my screen is this big. So I apologize for not reading out the comments. I tried to get them up on screen as much as I could. So bath time, I apologize. Right. Again, we roll. We're on 50 minutes, guys. Chance gone so quick.
Wow.
Brilliant.
You guys in the chat, as always, thank you very much. As I said already, we can't do this without you guys. Couple of shows coming up. We've got the preview show tomorrow, Norwich versus Manchester United. Solo will be hosting that. I'm not sure who we've got on that. We've got the takeaway with me and Talk. We are going to be talking a lot on a couple of our youngsters. One in particular, Ghana. We've got a guy from Forest who's going to be on giving us the lowdown. So if you are watching and you've got any questions, maybe you think if he thinks Ghana's good enough to deal with what's going on, then join us tomorrow for the takeaway, 10 o'clock. We've also got the watch along on Saturday. Me and Talk will be back. We've kissed and made up. No, not really Talk. Let people think we're full of arguments. We will be back on Saturday, and there will be a reaction show at some time Saturday again. So, guys, Shah, thank you so much, man. Anything you want to say to them before you go?
Have some faith, everyone. We can beat the Canaries. And make sure everyone tunes in, like, share, subscribes. We're growing all the time, and without you guys, it's impossible. And thank you, genuinely.
Paddy.
Yeah. Okay. Would you like to give my comments? Sorry, Mr. B. What do you want to say? Do you want to give my last?
Yeah,
my last will and testament is this. I think that we're gonna, after when I saw Norwich beat Burnley last week, they're going to be fighting. They've obviously got their foot fight, and they're now thinking, do you know what? We want to stay in this league, so they're going to want to fight back. And we're now on the floor a little bit, aren't we? So I don't know how we're going to lift it up. But you're right. We're going to have faith. Mr. Shah is correct. We're going to have faith. You're right. But we're at home. So I'm just hoping that they do. Not home. Are we not home? We're away.
Yeah.
We're away. No, we're at home.
We're home, yeah. Yeah, we're home, yeah.
What am I thinking?
So, Mr. B, that will give us an advantage, really, being at home and the home crowd behind us. But Norwich are going to have that fighting spirit. If we don't match that fighting spirit as we did with Everton, because Everton fought, didn't they, and battled, where we just sort of melted, that may happen. That's my worry, Shaw. That's what my worry is, Michelle. I'm, again, a doubting Thomas until I see the final whistle on Saturday. So I'm really, but I do, I'm worried. I'm worried, a little bit worried. That's all, a little bit.
Don't be worried, Paddy. Be faithful.
I'll be faithful, but I'll be worried. I'm a doubting Thomas.
I like that. He's a doubting Thomas, but he's forever faithful. Guys, absolutely. Thursday night, this was the agenda. Thanks for watching. We're out. Oh, Sherbet.